Nope. Okie dokie. Here's the ladder. Hello, Elliot. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome aboard. So, hello everybody. Welcome back. It has been nearly 9 months since my last live stream. Nice to have you all back. Make sure all machines are empty. Super tub has got shoes in it. Hello, stupid guy. That's kind of an interesting channel name. Hope everybody is doing well. I've got a bit of laundry that we can do together. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, as I will be regularly checking the chat. We will get going here in a couple minutes. I'm just going to wait for more people to arrive. Hi, Griffin Glaze. Yeah. Thank you all for all your support. I do like the dark drive as well. It is the first machine in my collection, so it holds a lot of value to me. All right, so plan today is I've got some towels and I got some regular laundry that we can do. I think what I'll do is we'll start a load of clothes in the Maytag first, and then later on we might do laundry in the Whirlpool, and then we'll move on to the Gentle Annie. We'll do all of those, but I do want to get started with the Maytag. What's my favorite washer? I don't know. I like both. I like both the Maytag and the Whirlpool. They really do well at their respective jobs. Like, I like the Whirlpool because it's very good for removing stains and things. And then the Maytag just gets the job done really quickly, well, not efficiently, but and it has a big tub. It's the biggest machine here at the moment. So, and I don't really have to worry about both machines going off balance. So, I like both machines very much. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and get things going. So I'm going to set you guys over here while I start loading the machine. I think detergent for today, we just quickly check. Cool, your grandma had a Whirlpool. That's awesome. Nearly everybody has Whirlpools in America. Kind of a very popular appliance. Even in the little time I was there, I did notice that everyone had Whirlpools, a lot of people. Neighbor had a Whirlpool. Actually, they had Kenmore direct drive back in the day. Detergent for this video is going to be Gain Flings. It's a 3-in-1 detergent, obviously. So it's got olive, these, whatever they are. What else does it say? Yeah, it's really just a standard pod. We're gonna put one into the machine. Let's check the lint filter. Got a bunch of some of these towels are really quite large towels. Now those two right there, they take up like a third of the capacity of my Maytag. Hi Jerry, welcome aboard. Nice to see you. Oh, you're from Australia? I didn't know that. Welcome. Yeah, it's not that often I get to talk to people from Australia. It's actually really cool to have someone from there. You know what? I really wish I had one of those Simpson fluid drive machines. You guys are lucky to have those. Those are like speed cleans, but you can't really see. Could probably get away with that. But yeah, they're like those machines from like the 60s, those Simpson washers. They were super duper cool. I want to have one of those, but they're really rare. So, and I don't know how I'm going to get one of those over here in New Zealand. They didn't, not to my knowledge, they didn't bring them over here. Wasn't until like the late 90s when Simpson got acquired by Electrolux and they started bringing the machines over here. They weren't as good as like the original Simpsons were, but they were still good. And like now we have like heaps of Simpsons and Kelvinators over here. And about the European machines, they have made a couple of top loaders for that market. This machine behind, I'll show it. This is the, for those of you who don't know, this is my Shacklock Fisher and Paykel. This is just branded Shacklock, but it's actually Fisher and Paykel's washer. This is a Gentle Annie, and this was actually, some of these washers were produced in the UK. This is one top loader that you see in the UK. And then they also had the machine before the Gentle Annie, which was a hot point washer, very similar to the GE filter flow, but it agitated a tiny bit slower. It spun super duper fast. I think it was 10,000 to 1,050 RPM spin speed, which was really crazy. Oh, yeah. I know you guys do have speed cleans in Australia, and you still do, because I know that I was seeing a post today on automaticwasher.org about someone who had speed cleans in that place called Harvey Norman. But yeah, so we did have speed cleans here about, let me think, 4 or 5 years ago, probably. Harvey Norman was the only place selling them. Here, let me get you guys. I'm really sorry about that. The camera angle gets shot. But yeah, Harvey Norman, they did have the 2015 speed clean. And that was super cool to see, and enjoyed it very much. Hello, Evan. Welcome back. Yeah, it has been a bit since I've been live. Sorry about that. It's nice to be back with y'all again. Yeah, back to the speed cleans. They no longer have them anymore. I don't know if it just got too expensive to get them over, or if they just stopped receiving them, whatever. But that was the last one I saw, was the 2015 model. So the TC5 and the TR5, whatever, those machines never arrived here, at least to my knowledge, in my town. So I don't know the exact specifications of the agitation on the Maytag, but it's a little less than 90 degrees with the agitation stroke, but it does it super fast. If someone knows that, we can put them in the chat box, and that'll be cool. But yeah, it does have a pretty fast agitation stroke. It gets the job done really well, and yeah, super great cleaner. Should be getting ready to start about now on Maytag. Yeah, so it does sort of, it's basically 90 degrees. Like, it's less than it, obviously, but it's like, look at it, it's basically 90-degree agitation. The Whirlpool, I think that's 90 degrees as well. It might be, here I can show you guys exactly what we have here. This is what the Whirlpool does. Looking at it, it's probably also a little less than 90 degrees. Yeah, I get it. Do you have any front loaders? I used to. That was a long time ago, though. About 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. I repaired a Bosch Classic. I forget the model number, but yeah, that was an okay machine. I think it had like a 6 kg capacity drum, which is a little below average for this region, but it gets the job done. It was pretty good heating the water up, and all that sort, all the typical front loader stuff. It does have a medium speed agitation, but I can't actually show it without filling the machine up. So it has to be filled. And no, it does not have extra slow agitation on the Whirlpool, which is honestly a shame, but Hey, what can I do about it? So for the gentle cycle, what it does is it intermittents the eating speed. It does it in like a 2 second pulse, and then it has like a 30-second pause before doing the same thing again. It's like a pattern over and over again. Oh, okay, you just got a severe weather warning. How about that? Do I have dress shirts to wash? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't have any dress shirts I can wash. If I did, I'd probably throw them into the Whirlpool, because that really does the best at it. But no, I not today. It's about 2 3 minutes into the wash already. Actually, that's about 4. I forgot how the timer does that weird thing when it like wiggles. So that's about, even though it's pointing at 9, there's probably got 8 minutes to go. You probably can't see it, but yeah. Do any of them have buzzers or signals? No, except for the Shacklock, because it's an electronically commutated machine, so it has a little beep sound to it when it finishes. But the Whirlpool does not have one. On top of the line Whirlpools, they had like an extra knob so that you could have the cycle signal, but my machine does not have that, and neither Maytag never did end the cycle buzzer sound, except for their very rare top of the line digital panel machine, which I believe did like sort of like what the Whirlpool Kenworth catalyst thing did. You know, very similar for like limited edition machine. I actually don't have a dryer at all. I use a clothesline and the clothes horse to get the laundry dry. So in New Zealand, they're not really big into dryer technology. So a lot of the houses don't get built with dryer vents or proper dedicated places for dryers. They just have clotheslines and clothes horses. And when they do have a dryer, it usually just vents into the house, or you have to get like a really expensive condenser or heat pump dryer. But those are like $1,000 to $2,000 to get. So yeah, those are really expensive. And they're also like, they're quite small too. The technology is quite small. So yeah, no, I don't have a dryer. At least not yet. I want to get a dryer. But when I do, it's just going to be a mission to, install probably. Because the thing about all the dryers here is that they're designed to be flipped upside down so that you can mount them to a wall. So if you have a look at most vented dryers, they're actually really small, and they're designed to be flipped upside down for those who want to put them on walls and like mount them above their washer. Which honestly in itself, that's a pretty cool technology, but it doesn't solve the venting issue. So it's still going to be venting into the garage or wherever the appliance is. Good question. It has not broken yet. So you recall ages ago, right, when I first restored the washer, and I absolutely wrecked the first motor coupler I got for it, which is honestly looking back on it, was a very foolish mistake. But ever since I've installed the motor coupler, which you might know it's not the one with the metal collar, it's just the regular plastic motor coupler. So I put that in there, and it's been about it must be coming up 2 years now, and the motor coupler has not broken, so that's good. It'll be interesting to see how the actual rubber part of it is doing, though, because we see all those videos of the rubber stretching out over time, which for some is really the failing point of the motor coupler assembly. I think it's probably a lot tougher to break the actual prong thingies, whatever they are. Of course, I managed to round mine out, which is quite an incredible feat. But yeah, ever since I replaced it, which was when I very first restored it, the machine has actually been very flawless. It has not caused me any issues since the whole water valve crisis. But by now, that was about a year and a half ago. So it's been a good year and a half of solid, unbroken service. Yeah, the Maytag is still doing pretty good. It is getting to that point where I'm going to have to fix it, though. Because I've had about 5 months ago, when it was winter over here, because you know how in the winter belt drive washers, they don't really do very well in the cold. Well, the poor Maytag it absolutely struggled this winter. There were some days when the machine, like when it would first start, it absolutely refused to agitate, and I had to help it along to get it started. That's how I don't know if it's the belts or if it's the transmission oil or what, but like something like the machine's belts probably did not handle the winter so well this year. So I had to actually go into the washer and do a very, very tiny tension to the belt so that there's more tension on the drive belt than there was last time. You can probably notice it when it drains. The pump doesn't whine as high of a pitch as it used to. Like it's just a tad bit lower in pitch because of the little adjustment I made to the pump. Hi Daniel, I'm doing good, thanks. Hope you're doing good as well. And then obviously it still does the whole screeching during agitation, moaning during spin. I've sort of gotten used to it by now, but it is getting to the point where I have to go inside and make some fixes. Yeah, something along those lines. That's probably what it is. Yeah, rubber in the winter just is not good for my Maytag and my Gentle Annie. Both of them are belt-driven washers, so whenever my Gentle Annie goes through a wash cycle, it washes fine, but the belt does this weird squeak thingy. So yeah, winter, not a good time to be a belt drive washer. That's when it's nice to have my Whirlpool as a direct drive washer. So yeah, but the machine is basically still running, so that's cool. All right, that's a good question. So I'll talk about once the Apex stops experiencing, so that you can hear me better. So this the machine behind us was never actually called a Gentle Annie until the very end. And the reason for that was because the actual name of the machine was supposed to be ECS. That's why if you have a look on the control panel, it doesn't say Gentle Annie, it says yes. That's the proper name for this washer. And for those of you who don't know, ECS stands for electronically commutated system, because it was one of the first washers to be, I mean, yeah, commutated electronically. Everything sort of before this was mechanical. Um, so yeah, but the Gentle Annie was sort of the name that was given to it by the public, really, because it was it was supposed to be. It was advertised as being gentle on clothes, and so the public decided. I don't know, but it just sort of became like a thing. But they started calling it the Gentle Annie, and that was just what it became over time. So now more people know it as the Gentle Annie than by ECS, and they sort of realized that sort of toward like the last years of the design, which was like around 1990, and some of the Kelvinators and Frigidaire variants of the ECS actually said Gentle Annie on the control panel. So yeah, it was never meant to be called that, but that's just um, what the people decided to call it, I guess, because of its advertised gentleness on clothing. The name must have stuck or something. Got a tornado watch for your area. Ain't no tornadoes gonna be coming over here, I don't think. But I'm a man that really likes weather, so if I saw a tornado, I'd probably go outside and film it. If I lived in America, I'd probably be a storm chaser. That's how much I like the weather. It's like my second passion. Yeah, I hope we can go storm chasing here as well. But we've never really been known for our tornadoes. Not even our hurricanes, or cyclones as we call them here. Oh, bye, Elliot. Maybe not to that extreme, though. I just want to be like your regular, ordinary storm chaser, not like a tornado wrangler. Do I like? I don't understand, Daniel. Bump this up a little bit to the extra large wallet. Ah, good question. I have mixed feelings about their top loaders, but I do admire their front loaders. I actually got to use the top loader LGs when I was in America one time, and you know what? They're pretty good, but not bad washers. But they don't really think very like. It's because probably just because it's an impeller washer. I don't speak very highly of impeller washers. But the front loaders, I do enjoy the front loaders a lot. So I think that they're pretty good quality, especially compared to the Samsung variants, which I've heard lots of bad things about. But the LG seem to be like, it's like if you want like a Samsung, so like what my father wants, like um, be better off probably getting an LG. So like supposedly better quality, which I kind of believe that. The top loaders, obviously they have the direct drive mechanism. Well, not really a mechanism, it's more like a design. So obviously it's direct drive, so there's basically no mechanism. It's all directly driven. and it has the sensors. But that was all Fisher and Paykel's design. They sort of just, built off of it. It's a really good thing to research, the direct drive mechanism. So you'll see that where it all originated from is actually here, believe it or not. Very, very cool. I like listening to the Maytag drain. It's the only machine here that spin drains well at the moment. Got something. Oh, that's a bit shaky. I was gonna say, I have this towel hoodie that I forgot to throw in. Yes, I have. I've seen the exploding Samsungs. I also heard about their recall for catching fire. So yeah, not too great to hear, but hey, what can I do about it? Maytag is spinning a little bit shaky, but he's gonna get the drop on. So, oh, cool. I'm getting the Whirlpool's load ready. So that once the Maytag stops, you can just start again. Whirlpool is going to be washing dark colors, mostly bulky items. There we go. Yeah, I have seen the LG commercial front load. I'm actually pretty lucky. The town next to our town, which is sort of like it's a pretty good sized town, but has a couple laundromats in it. One of them has a couple of those Electrolux commercial units with the they're the hard mount Electroluxes, and just to the left of the lineup there is a pair of, I think, 4. Okay, that's grammatically incorrect. There's a line of 4 of those LG commercial front loaders. Alrighty. This is the worst part. I need to get a proper live stream camera. I haven't even put the detergent in. I'm going to throw in a big scoop of Ultramax, which, as you can see, will probably do nothing in the way of suds, but worth a try. Tell you what might work, though. We might throw in... See, that's a massive scoop, right? Put that in. Then what we'll do, watch this, see? We'll get some of our stain remover, put that in, and we just might get some suds. We'll see. Let me see if I can accumulate a proper scoop here. Yeah, see, nice big scoop of that. Wow! Open the door, let some air in. It does get pretty hot in here when you haven't got the door open. So the oxygen is super important. Breathing in my own carbon dioxide, probably gonna die of like air poisoning or something. Didn't know. Oh, yeah. Should be getting ready to kick off pretty soon. So we're going to be going to about here, which is just below the second row, just below the second to top row of holes. If you guys have any questions about Fisher and Paykel, feel free to ask them. I'll see if I can answer them. I was in Ben's live stream yesterday, and he was talking about how he didn't know much about the Fisher and Paykels because he didn't, they're not made there anymore. But yeah, I've been here 7 years and have a rough idea about the history of the appliance itself. Honestly, a shame. Last year, in about February, they finally killed off the design. So, yeah, they're going to see that again in the shelves. So, yeah, we lost the Speed Queens in 2019, and then 2023 saw the demise of the Smart Drive. 2024, for example. That's pretty cool. Have custom things for your work, for your machine. All right, good question. So the holes in the agitators can serve two purposes. The first purpose is what you're looking at, right? Well, what is this Whirlpool direct drive? When the machine needs to dispense the fabric softener, it uses centrifugal force to bring it to the outside of the dispenser. And then when the machine stops, the fabric softener falls down the agitator and it goes through holes at the bottom to the outside where it goes into the laundry. That's the holes around the spiral. In the Maytag, it's a bit different. The holes in the agitator for the Maytag are actually designed to be a lint filter. The way that works is when the machine is agitating, the water goes through those holes, and beyond the holes, there's obviously the actual filter itself, where the lint in the water gets trapped. And then the water goes through the bottom back into the machine itself, and then it gets recirculated as clean water. So that's two reasons why they have holes in the agitator. And there's a couple of other special things that there would be holes for agitators for. Like on very special, unique designs that I won't go into, but yeah, those are the two main reasons you would have holes in the agitator for. Either a lint filter or as a way of dispensing the fabric softener from the agitator. If you're talking about the Simpson Encore, which is, if you recall, my Kelvinator K605, so the Encore was Simpson's version of the K605, which is like your classic Simpson. Well, it's not really the classic design, but for this generation, it's sort of the classic design now. But yeah, of Simpson washer. And then, but if you're talking about the commercial variant, no, I've not seen or used that. If you're talking about the Whirlpool, but regarding performance, it actually is doing a pretty good job. You just have to look at the rollover. Unless you're talking about something else that I wasn't paying attention to. Yeah, no, Daniel, I haven't seen that. I think that might be exclusive to America, that appliance, but yeah, I just have not seen them here. I think the direct drive stopped because of the government restrictions with water. If anyone else has input on that, feel free to put it on. I know there's it's sort of the same. There's a bunch of reasons why they could end the design, or why, generally speaking. But I think that's probably one of them. Is that the government in the U.S. Started imposing water restrictions for the top loaders, and I think that was probably one of the reasons why the design met its demise. I was told that apparently the direct drive, which the actual unit stopped in March of 2012 from what I've seen, but it did continue on in commercial service for a bit longer, and then also in the portable stackable design. I believe those stopped later on. So this the actual machine ended in 2012, but in different branches it actually continued on for a bit longer. I think the stackable units, which are the portable, the really small portable ones, I think those, from what I remember, stopped in about 2016. I cannot recall when the commercial units stopped, but yeah, that's roughly. But yeah, just water. But think about Speed Queen, they're having a tough time with flow restrictions. That's why they need that normal eco cycle. It's actually really hot today. I know you guys are getting a lot of snow in the U.S., so but over here we're dealing with. We did have a storm yesterday, but at the moment it is very hot, very very hot. Not America hot, but still, it's something. Yeah. It's good for my machines. Everything runs well in the heat, actually. But Maytag is basically at it's having the peak performance at the moment. It's absolutely good for the belts. Let's see what we're doing on here. It's looking pretty good inside. I'll give you guys a close-up of what's happening. So this is what we're looking at. Actually, it's pretty good in there. I'm liking it. And on the display, which I'll show you, we've actually gotten through most of the wash already. We're about to be done in about 3 minutes. Okay, 9 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, isn't it? So that's below freezing in Celsius. I do understand how to read Fahrenheit because I lived in the U.S. first. In fact, I probably understand it better than I do Celsius. But we lived in South Carolina, and the lowest it ever got there, I used to have like this little weather station outside our house, in our backyard. The lowest it ever got, ever recorded was about 24 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, I've never been cooler than that, except for when we were in the Northeast. I wish I could get a KitchenAid direct drive, but the direct drive itself is not very common in New Zealand. Sure, they're quiet, but they do pop up every now and then on Trade Me. But the actual machine itself is pretty rare, and I've never seen a Kenmore direct drive. I have seen a Maytag direct drive before, so that's something. But yeah, no Kenmore, no KitchenAids, and no Rapers or all the other different branches of Whirlpool that we can have. We only got Whirlpool and Maytag. That's all I know. Yeah, beyond that though, the machine's pretty rare. I mean, I wish I could have gotten. There was this really nice 1990 something Whirlpool with a black control panel. It was like one of the 27-inch models. I wanted to get it, but it was too expensive. Couldn't buy it, which was honestly a shame. How's the rest of my machines doing? Well, at the moment, these are the only three I have in service. So obviously, you got this machine, which has been doing perfectly fine, and you got Maytag over here, we just ran not too long ago. But yeah, Whirlpool's fine. Maytag's getting by all right, but it's not in peak condition, the Maytag, but it's not broken, so I'll take it for now. I really want to fix it, but I can't stand some of the sounds it makes, and yeah, it's just really, really annoying. And then this machine over here is also doing fine. Lately has been running pretty fine, actually. See the clutch on this Whirlpool? I believe it's still the original clutch, and it is just phenomenal. Like, I actually really respect the clutch on all Whirlpools now. Like, you actually get to when you actually get to own one of these and appreciate just how many times the clutch has to do what it does. But I'm honestly not surprised that they wear out over time. But it's phenomenal what they do, and yeah, this one has just been going for ages. Yeah, this one's doing pretty good because it's the summer, so it hasn't been slipping, squeaking, or anything like that. Control panel has been fine. Still no hot water in it yet, but we'll try and get that fixed soon. There's 3 machines in my collection that are working. This is all I have at the moment. Then I got the Champion, which is still resting in pieces. Oh yeah. I used to get so many machines in. So I used to have this when I was first getting into restoring appliances. I used to get in all sorts of different washers and dryers. Well, no, only washers. But that's actually the reason I stopped was because someone who was an electrician friend of mine told me that it's actually not legal to do that without electrical certification. And so I still help people with like their machines at home. So I like do like very casual service calls. But outside of that, I used to get machines in, fix them, sell them away on the Trade Me or on Facebook. But yeah, I can't do that anymore unless I get certified electrically, which is honestly kind of a pain. But hey, what can I do that? So what I've done is I've obviously got the machines in my collection, so I just look after those and I shuffle them around when I can. But it's sort of given me what I haven't got anything fresh for the channel anymore, but it's just the same old stuff. So I've been haven't been getting anything new aside from things that I want in my collection, and obviously the collection itself has sort of reached its maximum capacity of like 4, and yeah, it's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's cool that all my machines are still, functioning fine. Like I get to see how all my restoration projects are holding up and things. And like the Maytag is still due its one. And I don't know if I'm gonna do the Shacklock or not. I might just leave it. But yeah. So just that's how everything's been going. But one sec. Just the machine I'm rebuilding, which is the Champion, is exactly the same from when I did that little community post about the whole water seal problem. So let me tell you guys about that. For those of you who don't know, so this is basically what's happening since I put up that update video about the oil and everything. I rebuilt the washer, right? And I did a drivetrain test, which, it had a couple hiccups, but there were a couple of small problems I resolved. I did the whole thing on automaticwasher.org, but basically the machine ran the spin cycle perfectly fine. Apart from, but obviously the bearings, which are original, are probably going to get, they need replaced because obviously it sounds very rough and rattly, but it did spin. I did about 5 spins on it. And you've seen how all the electricals are working and things, and yeah, I did that. And I went to go, because I had it all assembled, and the water seal was in it and everything, so I disconnected all the electrics, and I went to go do a water test and see if it was going to leak. my patching up work had resulted in anything, and no, it did not work. It was actually a catastrophic failure. I went to fill the machine up, and it got to the seal part, and it leaked like you wouldn't believe it. It wasn't even like a dripping leak, it was a full-on waterfall out of the middle of the, the bottom of the tub. And so I had to take the whole machine apart again, to get to the seal. And I pulled out the seal, and it looked exactly the same as I had done it before. And I couldn't figure out why it had failed me so miserably. And so I just said, okay, the whole upper half of the assembly is basically trash. And so I said, fine, we're gonna rebuild that, right? So I went on to the automaticwasher.org and I said, hey, I want to try and replace the upper half of this. Does anyone have any ideas? And there's this really nice collector guy from the UK who has a couple of those machines. His name is Darren. He emailed me privately, obviously, and ended up having a conversation with him on the phone about what I should do. And what he said was that I should try and get one of those standard lit water seals to go around the shaft, and then you can just get one of those O-ring clamps, clamp it onto the lower half of like the cone, and then you'll be fine. It'll run. But then you also have to, because the actual shaft part, when you expose it to water, it's going to rust away. So you actually have to manufacture one of those non-corroding collars, like a really thin piece of metal, to go around the shaft where the lip seal will go on. And so I had to find a person that did lathing work in our medium-sized town. And I was lucky enough to find somebody, right? So I went to this place. It's called Progressive Engineering. And actually, I emailed them first about the part, and they told me to bring it in. And I brought the whole tub. I brought the seal and all the broken stuff. I brought it all over, and I was telling him what Darren had told me on the phone. And after looking at it for a bit, he came up with a different solution. So basically what he said was that if you go find one of those, what are they called? I've forgotten. 1 second. Okay, guys, here's the plan. Ready? So we've got here, whatever this is called. It's basically those things that go over the things in cars to keep everything from getting rusty and stuff. So this is what it looks like, right? So he said to find one that had like the circumference of the lower part of the cone, right? And he claims, right? He claims to be able to chop it in half and then here's what I've got, guys. Have a look at this. This is what we've got. So that fits. This fits over the coney piece. It sort of goes on there. There's going to be like an O-ring that goes around this to keep it sealed, right? So he needs to chop it about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here or here, maybe here. And then he's going to somehow manufacture another one of these, because I think this is probably what's busted, and fit it onto the top of this. And then it'll be like a proper seal again. It'll go in when the tub comes down. It'll be like, sort of like I think you guys get the idea, right? Like a proper seal. But the problem I'm having right now, this is why I've stopped. There's supposed to be a spring that goes inside of it, but I've wrecked the original spring, and so I've looked everywhere to find a new spring, and I was not able to find one that was just there. So what I have to do is I have to custom make one, which is just another hassle. And then once I get the spring, which somehow I'll do that, I don't know how, but I will, get it into this part, and then I'll take it to the guy, and he'll get this onto there and cut it in half, obviously. And this will all be like held up and things because there'll be a spring inside of it, and then it'll be a part finished, and I can put it back in, and hopefully it'll work. So all that's the plan, and I emailed because I have to do the spring part first. I have to find a place that does custom springs. I've emailed a place. They got back to me on a phone call and asked for some more photos so that they can get me the proper spring for the job. So I sent them all the photos, but they never wrote back to me. And yeah, that's unfortunate. And so I've been meaning to call them back, but I've just been so busy with life and things that I haven't had any time to do that. And obviously we have someone occupying, I don't know if I told you guys, someone's occupying the garage at the moment, so I can't really do any work at the moment. So I've been stuck. And that's why I haven't been putting up as much videos as I normally do. So it's not like I can film the same thing over and over again. It will be quality content. But yeah, so the champion's still sitting in pieces. It's basically the same as before. Trying to get it a spring, and then the guy's gonna try and put a new disc seal onto it. But it's just this really big mission, and I haven't given it the time it deserves yet. So I've just been doing laundry, trying to film with my GoPro, and that's not going too well either. GoPro keeps overheating and things. But yeah. That's how everything's going at the moment. Hey, at least nothing's broken on me. Like, could you imagine if In the midst of all this, something just absolutely broke. How tragic that would be. That'd be really sad. Like, especially if it was like my Maytag or my Gentle Annie, because those are like absolute pains to fix. That's the whole reason I've sort of neglected taking apart the Maytag. I told myself I'd do it once I fixed the Champion, but that's taking ages. Plus, I have to get all the money together to do it. Hey, Sean, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining. But yeah, that's how everything's going at the moment. Just sort of really, like, honestly, like, nothing much has changed here. It's all exactly the same. But the only thing that's really changed is I've done a small adjustment to the Maytag's tensioning so that it would get through the winter just fine. Because it was slipping a lot during the wash. I was saying that some days it wouldn't even agitate. That's how cold it was over here. But yeah, no, it is not the champ right now. Right now, it is resting in pieces. It is literally collecting dust. Yeah, I'm liking a lot of your videos, Sean. You're doing a really good job. Keep it up. Loving all your Maytag videos. It's actually really cool to see that. It sort of made me want to get a pin in Maytag, but that opportunity hasn't really arrived yet. I haven't had the money nor time to do it. But yeah, you're doing great, man. Keep it up. Should be getting ready to stop. I'm gonna get the Gentle Annie going. This is the last load of the day, guys. Alright, we're gonna do heavy duty high cold because that's all we got. And start. We are gonna throw in the game. Heavy. Okay. Yeah, you have to get the Whirlpool thing sorted out. It's honestly a shame, but you're sort of in the same boat as me, actually. This whole lack of parts issue is just killing me. But yeah, getting by. Gotta go to the manufacturers of springs and lathes I'm gonna get the machine running again. I don't even know if my transmission is gonna seal. Like that's how unprepared I am to get this champion working. I don't know if I try to seem very professional, but I'm humble enough to admit that I am not a professional restoration person, and it is entirely possible I would fail at restoring a vintage machine like the Champion. Let me turn you guys around so you can see. Oh, well, that's good for you. Glad you managed to find things for the shipping. Really, really good. That's cool. It's always good when you do a restoration and it holds up fine. It's a shame I never documented the restoration of my Whirlpool direct drive, because some of you might not know it, but I actually really committed to my Whirlpool restoration, and it's so far having amazing results. Like I took the whole thing apart, but I even disassembled the. I took the tub off of the base, and disassembled all of the. I took the rear panel off of the faceplate as well. Completely rebuilt the transmission. Even I fixed the agitator cam inside of the transmission because that was causing a zipping sound during the spin previously. Brand new transmission oil, which may have not been the right oil, but it seems to be working fine. So, it's 60 weight oil. It's probably I know it's supposed to be 90 weight, but yeah, I didn't know that. But it seems to be working fine. It's actually working really well. And then, hi Elliot. Okay. Yeah, I know that Scant. I don't follow him a lot, but I know he gets a lot of vintage machines, so that's good for him. Obviously, I wish I got a lot of that too, but it's sort of not the right place for that. But yeah, that's cool. You can really source that from him. But yeah, I really for work with direct drive, really committed to that restoration, and I gave it new. I tried to give it a new clutch, but that didn't go so well. I don't know if it was my fault or something, but I put the whole machine back together right after I got the transmission rebuilt. Rebuilt the transmission, got a 6-pad clutch in there, painted the whole thing, but all the base plates, everything that was black, I repainted, and then I did cleaned out the inner tub and things. And yeah, reassembled it all after it was all cleaned up and ready to go. All the wiring back together. First time I started it, something went really wrong, and the machine nearly it kept tripping itself while it was accelerating to the spin. So I did a spin test, and it was like the clutch was too grippy or something, or like I don't know, but like I don't know if it was the brakes or what, but something was really not letting the motor go, and it just went right up to speed, and you could hear the motor stopping and starting. That's probably why I broke the motor coupler so quickly, because of that. So I did it multiple times, try to get it to run like that. And yeah, I was probably killing the coupler so badly, rounded out the metal. But yeah, I think I put the original clutch back in after that, and then when I put it back together, it seemed to run perfectly fine. I brought it a new water valve later on too, and yeah, the machine is fully restored. But everything perfectly cleaned out. All the gears lubricated. New agitator dogs, new water valve, sort of new control panel. The previous owner put on a new control panel, so that was cool. And it's been amazing since. No problems. Hi, Elliot. Nice to see this machine still running pretty well as well. You missed out on High Ridges. The Whirlpool was run about 20 minutes ago. And then before that, we did the Maytag as well. So we watched, so what we did was towels in the Maytag, which took about 30 minutes. Then we did a load of dark colors in the Whirlpool, which took about 35 minutes. And now we're doing a load of lightly soiled items in the Gentle Annie, which is what you're looking at here. Yes, it is. It is just doing what it's supposed to. So you notice that the agitation strokes is actually not that far on this machine either. It's probably, it's almost 180 degrees. Which actually, that's pretty good. But, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while because I've just been quite caught up, honestly, with all my projects. And of course, I'm on my last year of school as well. I haven't really thought about doing a live stream in ages, actually. And just today, because I got so bored yesterday. Hey, Tristan. Welcome aboard. Yeah, yesterday I had like nothing to do. Because it was raining yesterday, so I wasn't quite sure if I should do something or what. But yeah, I was thinking about that. Went to bed yesterday, and I was like, you know what? It has been nearly 9 months since I've done a live stream. I have not got anything special going on today. I'm gonna do a live stream. So here I am. I wish we do not get Frigidaires here in New Zealand. It's a bit of a dream machine of mine. The machine I really want to find though is there's two machines I really want to find. I want to find a GE filter flow. I probably want to get like one of those. Like the ultimate GE filter flow, in my opinion, was probably the Versatronic from 1969. Yeah, that era. And yeah, that was just a super cool GE. It had like mediums. I think some of them, I don't know if I read it wrong, but some of them might have even been like variable speed with their motors. But I know that some of them at least had the medium speed, so they did 3 different speeds. And I want to find myself a Kenmore belt drive from the late 60s, early 70s. I think it'll be a Sears Kenmore probably. I want to get one of those ones with like the key buttons and that pencil swirl agitator, but I want to have a waterfall that goes into it, and with kitchen colors. So that's my dream Kenmore washer. And then one that I really want to get, but is probably a bit unrealistic in my circumstances, would definitely be the Frigidaire Unimatic, because that's got to be one of the most expensive mechanisms I've ever heard of. If you guys haven't seen the mechanism inside of a Frigidaire Unimatic, it is crazy well built. It is like one of the best mechanisms I think ever made inside of the Frigidaire Unimatic. That's why most of them never broke down for the most part. And Philco, I do like Philco. If you're talking about the top loader variants, I would love to see a Philco machine in person. I think with some of those older machines that they're so rare, I don't really have the knowledge and experience to take on a project like that. And plus, they're probably just super rare, and they'll do things like what's happening with my Champion. I can't find replacement parts. I can like some high efficiency washers. It depends on how they work and if they're any good at their jobs. I don't have any speed cleans, no. I've seen speed cleans, but haven't gotten one yet. Yeah, I don't remember. Why is this so sticky? I'm gonna stop here soon. The machine's gonna stop here soon. I try to do the but I'm not the best. I'm just another really good appliance person. But I grew up around a 2003 Whirlpool direct drive and a Samsung, which is honestly not bad, but you know, I have a love for mechanics, and that's probably why I have so many vintage appliances actually, because a lot of the newer machines aren't very mechanical, they're more basic appliances, but excuse me. Yeah, I do like mechanics and grew up liking things that spin around. That's probably where my passion for washing machines came from. Yeah, I try to do good work. Thanks, OD. Welcome to the stream. Got a Fisher and Paykel working. Cool. Very cool. Oh, you want to see a sink? Sure. It's actually, you can see the lint coming out of it. Oh, thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Daniel. Gotta be done draining, so it's pretty bad. I want to get another front loader, so yeah, try and get another front loader probably. It just depends on if I can get my space back. If I did get a front loader, what kind of front loader would I get now? That's a good question. The only front loader I really enjoyed using was the Bosch. It's probably not going to spin very smoothly, this machine. In fact, it might go off balance. It's going to go off balance. Well, I was waiting for the sensor to do its thing, but never kicked in. What was wrong with that? Come on, you can do better than that. Alright, that's gonna do. Alright, sorry guys, that was, had a bit of a off balance on the gens landing. Honestly, not surprised. It's sort of not uncommon for this to go off balance. It's not so much that it's failed, it's just that I got in there a while back to try and stop the lever from hitting the side of the tub. Because it would be like this, right? And it would still gently hit the lever, and it would make this very annoying sound. And so I tried to tape it back a little bit, and I thought I had done it enough so that it would still trigger it, but it must evidently be holding it down to the point that it can't trip it. So yeah, I guess this machine does not want to detect an out of balance load at the moment, unless I go in there and I fix the sensor, obviously. Yeah, right now, does not do it. It's crazy. You gotta be careful of the out of balance loads. Definitely an issue. Oh yeah, I can't really put towels into my gen spot. I have before, but it really shouldn't have to do towels this washer. I leave that to uh, my heavy duty washers. This machine does because this basically represents all suspension washers out there. Does not do so well balancing mixed loads, heavily soiled items of any kind. So I was actually I did a video of jeans one time. I was really shocked that I actually got through that video with no problem. But just suspension washers in general do not do well balancing for vibrations. Even if they do balance themselves, it's like the vibration from them is ridiculous. That's probably a reason why many people prefer to stay away from the top layers because they're so noisy during the spin. Unless they have good suspension. believe the spin speed on this washer is about 800 RPM at the moment. I know on the newer Fisher and Paykel, like the ones right after this one, they did about 700 for the medium speed. So this is about 800 for medium speed. I've never actually owned a machine from phase 5 downward, apart from this machine, obviously, but this machine isn't even a part of the phases yet. This is its own washer. Yeah, I've not owned a phase 1-2. I haven't owned a phase 3. I have not owned a phase 4. And I have not owned a phase 5. So the machines after the phase 5, which are the ones that were from the 2000s, like 2005 and things, those are the kind of Fisher and Paykels that I have. Those are the ones with the locking lids that are about 18 years old by now. Maybe 19 years old by now. This year they'll all be 20. Isn't it crazy to think that the 2000s generation of appliances are now getting up there in years? Like they'll be about 20 now. Some of them, most of them. Your first washer was a phase 3. Oh, cool for you. I have seen some sort of. I've seen a Fisher and Paykel Pride before, so that's probably the one that I've seen. But I've not operated one before, so. Honestly, it's really incredible. Fisher and Paykel was way ahead of their time with their designs, really. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But this machine is not living, but it's proof of that. But how they can, when everyone else was still doing all of their electromechanical stuff, they came out with this washer. This was their first washing machine too. Because before that, they were licensing the Hot Point design, which was the one very similar to the GE filter flow that had the filter pan and everything. It's 1,050 RPM. So they licensed that, so it wasn't their own design. And then they finally came up with this machine. They developed it throughout the early 80s. And when they finally released it in 1985, it honestly was one of the more innovative inventions of that era. But especially for this region of the world, no one had ever seen electronic controls before, push buttons and things. And but I remember these machines were over $1,000 when they first came out. And that was back in the 80s, so think about what that would be in today's money. So these were no joke innovative appliances. And then in 1991, they went a step further and came out with the Smart Drive, which eliminated the need for belts and pulleys and all of the things of today's or machines at the time. Like, think about it. Maytag had just come out with their orbital. Well, they came out with it in 1989, so that was a couple of years ago. But Whirlpool and Maytag were absolutely rocking the transmission designs, and then Shacklock Fisher and Paykel came out with the dirt drive washer. Even GE, they were still using transmission washers. Basically, every popular company were still on belt drives or things or transmissions, and then they came out. So Fisher and Paykel was really ahead of their time. And it like made things so much easier for repair people. It became so much easier to repair the Fisher and Paykel machines. Like you could go under the machine, quickly replace an RPS sensor or something. These machines generally needed bearings. They weren't really renowned for their tub seals, so. But still, those bearings, they're not too difficult to replace on these units. And yeah, it was just it was such a good design, and other companies have since built off of that design. So now, think about it. Kenmore came out with the high efficiency washer with the direct drive rotor inside of it. And then before you knew it, Samsung and LG had front loaders with that technology. And it's just become one of the best technologies. As of course, we know that Fisher and Paykel. That's not supposed to be there. Fisher and Paykel was brought by Haier, H-A-I-E-R, Haier. They were brought by them in sometime in the late 2000s, I think. And Haier was good enough to keep the design, right? But in about 2024, they finally pulled the plug, and now the Fisher and Paykel Smart Drive is done. Or at least the classic version of it is. I don't know. I've never seen, because Haier just started putting their internals inside of Fisher and Paykel's washers, so it's no longer the classic Fisher and Paykel that we know and love. Someone told me that it probably still uses the direct drive mechanism, but aside from that, everything about the machine has completely changed. Who made Zanussi? That's a good question. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have very much front loader experience, especially from the Europe. I think the most I know about is Miele, Bosch, and what's the other one? AEG. Those are all German, I believe. But Zanussi, I think Zanussi is Italian, isn't it? Oh, it's okay. It's basically an AEG then. I thought Zanussi used to be Italian, didn't they? I could be wrong. Be mixing it up with something else. But yeah, they were really famous for their jet wash system with them. So they had like a really powerful recirculating nozzle. That should probably balance itself. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the final spin of the Shacklock gentle landing. The first spin did not go so well. It went out of balance. So if you go back in time, you'll see what happened. The machine went out of balance. I was waiting for the machine to trip the switch, but it didn't work. Probably because I was fiddling with it, not too long ago, so probably doesn't work anymore. Yeah, I like the Zanussi jet system a lot, actually. I think if I should probably find one. I think we have Zanussis over here somewhere. I see them occasionally. They're just really small. That's all. I think that's the only thing against them is that they're kind of small washing machines. Nothing wrong with having a small appliance for like holiday homes, but yeah, just really very small appliances. All right, you can do this. You can do this. Okay, it's gonna do it. I have seen LG Turbo Wash. I'm pretty familiar with the LG system with their 6-motion technology. As I was saying, LG I think are one of the better front loaders on the market today. Um, yeah, I like the LG machines. It's actually pretty crazy because LG have the direct drive rotor in them, like from the Fisher and Paykel's. So they actually do a very good job with their maneuvers. We call them maneuvers because it's not really something that you can do in a normal belt drive washer, but it's pretty incredible what they can do with their washing machines. So yeah. No, that's not good. Hey, Lifted Rail, welcome to the. Um, this is about the end of the live stream, actually. Once this stops spinning, I'm turning off the camera and leaving. But yeah, hope everyone's Fisher and Paykel's are going really well. I seen Ariel powder detergent here. I'll have to double check, but we do not have very good options where I'm at here. I've heard really, really good things about that detergent. I would like to give them a try. Oh, pods, okay. I'm not sure about the pods. I've heard really good things about the powder. Um, Less so the pods, but if I do see them, I would be willing to try for sure. At the moment, I've been really loving the Ultramax because it's got polyphosphate in it and has a massive scoop. It sort of does. It's like one of the best detergents I've had for suntan. So yeah, so should be getting ready to stop soon. And you guys are probably getting shined on by the sun. Yeah, it's from the warehouse. It's really cheap too. It when I first found it, it was about $12 for a huge thing of it. It's one of the better deals. Cool. Yeah, I wish I had Foca. That's a detergent I also want to get, but have not found. Do they get those in like America, with their at local shops? Because I really want to have Foca, but have not even seen it in person. So I bet the day I see it in person, I'm instantly gonna buy it. But at the moment, have not found it yet. And online, because I tried to buy Foca, and it was super duper expensive, probably because of shipping. So yeah, I have no idea when I'm gonna get that, but when I do, it's gonna be fun. No, I'm not. I've been nothing. Literally nothing has changed. Here, we are exactly the same. Still got my champions, still in pieces. This machine's been doing fine. Maytag's doing fine. Whirlpool's doing fine. Everything is exactly the same. Oh, enjoy your trip to the UK then. But yeah, I actually think I might take a tiny break on the channel for a bit. I'm probably gonna make a community post tomorrow about it because I've got everything here has been exactly the same, and I don't want to keep putting up the same stuff over and over again. So I think I might just take a break from the channel until something develops. Plus, I just don't want to have to deal with the hassle of my GoPro anymore. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I don't know if I'll go live in the future someday, but yeah, for now I'm signing off. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. So yeah, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Seriously, take care. All right. Bye bye.